Good evening, class. So this will be your review on your midterm, and this is now problem solving. We are going to compute for the basic income tax, the final tax on passive income, and the capital gain tax. Now, first let's try to solve what is given here. The POGI, a single had the following data for 2025 taxable year. For gross business income from Philippines, 1 million. Gross business income from USA, 500,000. Business expenses from Philippines, that is 700,000. Business expenses from USA, that is 430,000. The compensation income from Philippines, that is 600,000. The dividend income from domestic corporation, that is 50,000. The dividend income from resident foreign corporation, that is 40,000. The interest income from a peso bank deposit, that is from the Philippines, that is 20,000. Interest income from bank deposit abroad, that is 30,000. 40,000 for foreign currency deposits. Royalty income from composition, that is 25,000. The raffle draw prizes, that is 10,000. PCSO winnings, that is 200,000. And the creditable withholding taxes is on business income, that is 125,000. Now we are required to compute that following: taxable net income, income tax payable, final taxes on passive income, and the total income tax expense if they are resident citizen, non-resident citizen, resident alien, non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, and if it is a non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. Now, first, we need to compute for number 1, that is resident citizen. Now, for resident citizen, we need to compute here the residency, and these are taxable within and without. Now we are looking for the taxable income. So for taxable income, these are the income, net income, plus others, other income subject to basic tax. So this, we are looking for taxable income, yung net income plus the other income subject to basic tax, because there are final withholding taxes that that are subject to basic tax. So let's try. Gross business income, kasama ba? Yes. 1M, kasama yan. 500,000, kasama ba? Yes, kasama yan. How about the expenses? That is also included, but we need to deduct this 700k and the 430,000. Now, how about the compensation income? Compensation income is also included, 600,000. How about dividend income from domestic corporation? That is a FWT. So, we need to compute here the FWT for 50,000. That is 10%. 10% yan, no? Kung titingnan nyo sa table, that is 10%. Now, how about dividend income from resident foreign corporation? This is included in the computation for the resident citizen taxable income, 40,000. Bakit? Di ba pag foreign corporation and abroad, that is subject to basic tax. Again, that is a general rule. Now, how about the interest income from peso bank deposit? That is subject to FWT, 20,000. 20,000 times, that is 20%. Now, let's try to find the interest income from bank deposit abroad. Nasa abroad, ibig sabihin that is subject to basic tax. That is 30,000. Now, next, interest income from foreign currency deposits. That is only allowed for resident citizen and resident alien. That is 15%, and the other non-resident citizen and non-resident alien engaged in trade, that is subject to exemption. They are not included in the FWT. But so for this is included in the resident citizen, that is 40,000 times how much? 15%. Okay, next, royalty income from composition, also of FWT, 25,000. So that is 10%, right? as long as it is creative work that is subject to 10% royalty. Now, how about raffle draw prices? Again, pag raffle draw prices, pag prices less than or equal to 10,000, that is subject to basic tax. So, we will include the basic tax of 10K. This is 30K. Ayusin lang natin. Okay, next we have PCSO winnings 200,000 that is subject to 20% final withholding tax. And creditable withholding tax is deducted on the income tax due to get the income tax payable. Now, first we need to focus on the uh, on the taxable income. Now, let's add this 1 million plus 500,000. That is 1.5 minus 700,000. 800 minus 430,000 plus 600,000 plus 40,000 plus 30,000 plus 10,000. We get taxable income of 1,050,000. Now, we need to find the okay. We get the answer for taxable income number 1, 1,050,000. 1,050,000. Okay. Now we need to find the income tax payable. Again, to find the income tax payable, we need to memorize the graduated table. So that is 0 to 250, 250 to 400, 400 to 800, 800 to 2M, 2M to 8M, and over 8M. Now this is exempt 0, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35. And we need to add the additional tax. And the additional tax start here, 22,500, 102,500, 402,500, and the 2,202,500. Now, saan ba pupunta yung 1M natin? Pupunta yung 1M natin dito sa 800 to 2M. So, we need to deduct 800. So, we get the amount of 250,000. 250,000, we need to add, we need to multiply the percentage of 25%. So, if we multiply the 25% here, we get the amount of 62,500. Now, the 62,500, we need the additional tax of 102,500. 102,500, and we get the 102 of 165,000. 165,000 pesos. These are the tax income tax due. Okay, income tax due. But we are looking for the income tax payable. To look for the income tax payable, sabi ko kanina, the CWT is deducted from the income tax payable. So, 125,000 i-deduct natin, we get the amount of 40,000. So, 40,000 ang ating magiging income tax payable. So, we need to put here the 40,000 pesos. Now, how about the total final taxes on the passive income? Again, here, compute natin to, then add. Okay? Compute muna natin, then add. Now, for 50,000, that is multiplied by 10%, we get 5,000. 20,000 times natin sa 20%, we get 4,000. And 40,000 times natin sa 15%, that is 6,000. And 25,000 times natin sa 10%, we get 2,500. And 200,000 times natin sa 0.20, we get 40,000 40,000. Now we need to add 40,000 plus 2,500 plus 6,000 plus 4,000 plus 5,000. We get the amount of 57,500 for FWT, the final withholding tax. So we need to put here the 57,500. Now we need to compute the total income tax expense. When we are looking for total income, no? Pag sinabi natin income, hindi included yung business tax, no? Total income tax expense. So, ang kailangan natin tong i-add is the income tax due of 165,000 plus the FWT, income tax due, and the FWT, and we get the amount of 1,500. We get the amount of 222,500. So this will be our income tax expense. 22,200 and 500. That is for the requirement number 1. Now let's proceed for if it is a non-resident citizen. For non-resident citizen, these are taxable within only. Now since this is only within, we need to find the within only. So we get again the 1M. Is natin ulit to. Ayun lang kanina. 1M. USA is not included. Philippines is also included. So we need to deduct the 700K. How about USA expense? Nope. 600,000 income. So we need to add this. Sana 600. Add natin to. Dividend income from domestic corp. This is FWT. Right? Para hindi natin makalimutan, ilagay na natin FWT. How about resident foreign corporation? Nasa loob ng bansa. That is within. Okay, wait lang ha. Okay. For dividend income from a resident foreign corporation, these are nasa ibang bansa, so this is included as basic tax. But this is within, so we will include this 40,000. We will include the 40,000 since this is within 40,000. How about bank deposit? This is FWT. Interest from the bank abroad. Okay, na abroad, no, 30,000. We include this amount on the resident citizen kasi within and without. But since non-resident citizen is only applicable to within, this is subject to basic tax, but they are not subject to non-resident citizen because they are abroad, they are without, no. So we will not include this. Di ba dito in-include natin? But on the other hand, hindi natin siya i-include. How about FCDS? 40,000. So this is FWT. But since non-resident citizen siya, exempted to. Royalty income from composition is also not included. Okay. And ano pa? Because these are FWT, 10% subject, and we also have raffle draw prices is included. If the problem is silent, we need to add this kasi within. And ano pa? 200,000. This is FWT. And others are, the FCWT is deductible. Now we need to compute the taxable income. Again, we have 1M plus minus 700,000, 300,000 plus 600,000 plus 40,000 plus 10,000. We get the amount of 950,000. So these are the taxable income. So ilagay natin yung 950,000 dito. 950,000. Now we are looking for the income tax payable, and income tax payable is deductible from the income tax due. And 950,000 is also here. So we need to deduct the 800k, and we get 150,000. And since we get to 150,000, we need to multiply by 25%. So 150,000 times 0.25, we get 37,500. Tama? No. So, yun na natin. 950,000 minus 800,000. So that is 150,000 times mo sa 0.25, 37,500. Then we need to add the additional tax of 102,500, that we get 140,000. So we need to add the we need to add the 102,500, so we get 140,000. Now we need to deduct the CWT, kasi nga 'di ba, pag sinabi natin CWT, creditable, meaning pwede natin siyang ibawas sa tax natin. That is 125,000, which is given. So we get the amount of 15,000 pesos as the income tax payable natin. So that is 15,000. Lagay mo dito 15,000. Next, final taxes on passive income. How do we get the final taxes on passive income? So we need to find here like this, FWT. Meron tayong 5, pero ang pinagkaiba lang dito is the exemption here. Tama. In-exempt natin. Again, FWT naman natin ay 50,000 times 10%, 20,000 times 20%, 40,000 times 15%. Okay, the 40,000, the foreign currency deposit ba to? 40,000. Tama. The 40,000 is exempt, no? Di ba kanina, 15% to? So, under FCDS, foreign currency deposit, no? Foreign currency deposit, we are exempt na po yung as long as they are non-resident citizen or non-resident alien engaged or not engaged in trade or business. Diba? Exempt na po sila. So, we need to exclude the 40,000, and we need to add again the 25k times 10% and 200,000 times 20%, and we get the amount of the same 5,000 plus 4,000 plus 25 plus 40,000, and we get the amount of 51,500. We just need to add here 40,000 plus 25 plus 4,000 plus 5,000. We exclude the FCDS. Di ba nandito? FCDS 6,000. Pero dito, hindi natin sinama. So, our final taxes on passive income is we have 51,500. Now, how about the total income tax expense? Again, we just need to add 51,500 from what we get earlier. Earlier, we get the income tax payable of 15,000. So, if we add the 15,000 here. Oh no, not the income tax payable, but the income tax due. The income tax due we get is the 140,000. This is the income tax due plus the FWT. We get the amount of income tax expense. So the income tax expense is 140k plus 51,500. We get the amount of 191,500. Tama? Okay, tama ba? 191,500, tama. So we have here 191,500. Now, we should determine, assuming the following taxpayer is a resident alien. Now, what if a resident alien siya? The same amount for taxable net income, since we are looking for resident alien, they are taxable only within. So, same amount dito. And also, same din dito, income tax payable. Kasi we will derive the same amount when we trying to get the income tax due less the CWT, we get the same amount of 15,000. But here, ang total final tax on passive income, magkakaroon lang ng pagkakaiba dito sa foreign currency deposit. Again, di ba? Pag foreign currency deposit, only the resident citizen are taxable by 15%. And we are not taxing the non-resident citizen, non-resident alien, non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, not engaged in trade or business, or engaged in trade or business. We're only taxing the resident citizen and the resident alien. So the same amount we will get from number 1, 57,500. And when we try to add here what we get earlier of income tax due of 140,000, di ba? 140,000, i-add mo yung final with passive income of 57,500, we get the amount of 57,500, 197,500. This is for number 3, 197,500. Okay? Now, let's try to solve for number 4. Number 4, determine the following assuming the taxpayer is a non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. So, pag non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, they are taxable within only. So, we will get the same amount of 950,000. Okay? How about the income tax payable? Same amount pa rin. 15,000. Kasi wala naman daw pinagkaiba. Kung mag-solve ulit tayo, same pa rin yung makukuha natin ng 15,000. Now, how about the total final taxes on passive income? Magkakaiba lang po dito sa dividend income. Okay? So, if we are looking for the dividend income, try natin dito, kasama to, but this will be 20%. So, 15,000 times 20%, that is 10,000. So, 10,000 plus 4,000 plus 2,500 plus 40,000. So, ang mangyayari po dito sa final tax income, so we get here 50,000 times 20%. Kung titingnan nyo sa table, 20% po no, pag non-resident alien sa dividend income. Here, sa 20,000 here. No, sa dividend. No, dividend. So, we get 20%. Times mo lang sa, yung isa naman is 20,000. 20,000 times 20%. And also, we have foreign currency deposit. Again, ulitin natin. Pag foreign currency deposit, only resident citizen and resident alien are taxable. So, they are exempt. Exempt to. Next, we have FWT. Composition, 25,000. Okay, that is 25%. Ano, 10% lang pala. 25,000 times 10%. 25k times 10%. And also we have 200,000 PCSO winnings. PCSO winnings, 200,000. So let's add 50,000 times 20%, get 10,000. 20,000 times 20%, we get 4,000. 25,000 times 0.10, that is 2,500. And 200,000 times 20%, that is 40,000. So we need to add 40,000 plus 25 plus 4,000 plus 10,000, that is equal to 56,500. This is the FWT. So final tax is 56,500 pesos. Now how about the final income tax expense? We get again the 140,000 we computed earlier. Here, nandito yan, di ba? 140,000. And when we add 140,000, we get the amount of 196,500. 196,500. Okay, so that's it for number 4. Again, this is problem solving, and we were done on computing the resident citizen, non-resident citizen, resident alien, and non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. So when we're trying to compute for non-resident alien not engaged for trade or business, we're trying to exclude the business income, the creditable withholding tax, because they are taxable only from gross. If they are taxable from gross, we need to compute for compensation income, add natin sa FWT that are subject to 25%, di ba? Nagiging 25% na sila. And exempt pa rin yung income interest bank deposit. But anyway, that will be on the next video. So, focus muna kayo dito sa resident citizen, non-resident citizen, resident alien, and non-resident alien, not resident alien engaged in trade or business. So, kita-kits next video.